have never seen this before. Jimmy Butler is doing some very unconventional workouts in order to prepare himself for next season. Now, we're going to break down whether or not this is going to be a good or a bad thing for the Miami Heat, as it could result in another burnout from Jimmy Butler before the season fully comes to an end and we get involved in the playoffs. So now let's get to it and break down a Jimmy Butler who is fully revamped. At least that's the way it seems. Based off the footage that we've seen from his social media accounts, if you guys don't follow him, he is always all over the place. That he's never in one place for too long, and it seems like he was once again on the move and he had to get a workout in, so he was using an outside gym, doing some push-ups, some planks, whatever it may be. But it continued as he was doing some very, very unconventional workouts here, like a push-pull motion all in one, again, all outside, and very, very different and unconventional. But again, leave it to Jimmy Butler to find fun ways to work out and still be successful. But damn, he better be successful this up-and-coming season for this Miami Heat team. As we know, Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. There's no way around it, whether he was in Chicago, Minnesota, Philly, Miami. He has been a damn good basketball player. The only problem is the health and the availability. And as we all know, that fun little saying, the best ability is availability. And when Jimmy Butler is available, he's a damn good basketball player, even on teams that may not have a lot of star power and overall just firepower in general. We know Jimmy Butler is a damn good player, and we know he wants a new contract with this Miami Heat team, as we know this is the last year that is definitive for Jimmy Butler, as next season will be considered a player option for Jimmy Butler. And again, if you guys don't know the rules behind the contracts, a player option when given to a player, it's usually, we'll say it's a 4-year contract given to Jimmy Butler. The first 3 years will be under the Miami Heat, and that 4th year with a player option will then come down to whether or not the player wants to play for that team under that contracted number, or do they want to re-sign, reschedule, just reconfigure that contract in order to bring back that player. So Jimmy Butler on a 3-year deal. We are now in the 2nd year before that 3rd and final player option year. So next year, however this season does go, and again, this could be fully negated in the sense that Jimmy Butler could be traded. Jimmy Butler could opt out of the player option when this season ends. We don't know. It's a lot of time until that period, but again, the time in between now and then is going to be this up-and-coming season. And if Jimmy Butler is true to his word and says he wants to finish his career in Miami and he wants to get another few years added to this contract, he's going to have to produce. Now, we know Jimmy Butler as the player. I just got done raving about him. He is a damn good basketball player. He just got done averaging 20 points really on the dot, 5 total rebounds, and just under 4 assists per game. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right, or excuse me, 5 rebounds and 5 assists per game. It was just under 4 defensive rebounds per game. But again, we know Jimmy Butler to be the great Jimmy Butler that he's been. But again, if we look at this entire stat sheet, the thing that is going to stand out most to people like Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and the rest of the organization pulling the strings for this Miami Heat team is going to come down to games played and games started. If we look down at the last year, he played in 60 games. He missed 22 of them, and he missed the most important ones at the end of the year without a doubt, as he was injured in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, in the first round of the play-in, as you've heard me say time and time again, as that was the final string to fall, or to be pulled for this Miami Heat season to come to a crashing halt. So then we look through 64 games played the year prior, 57, 52, 58, 55, 18, or excuse me, 10, 65. Again, these aren't great numbers from Jimmy Butler. And again, that's the biggest thing sticking out of this entire just stat sheet from Jimmy Butler, covering his entire career that has been a long and very, very great career. Again, he's been in the mix of multiple awards, whether it be Defensive Player of the Year, NBA First Teams, whether it be Defensive First Teams or All-NBA teams, and then obviously just being a great overall player and being known throughout the league as someone who is not just a rollover, someone who's going to get the job done regardless of the scenario and the team he is on. But again, if you are not active and you are not available, you don't have much value. And again, that is what Pat Riley and it seems like this Miami Heat team is looking at. So these workouts you're doing that are unconventional and may look effective in the moment and may feel effective in the moment, is it going to result in you playing more games next season, especially in the second half? If you want to take the first, and I don't mean this literally, but if you want to take the first month or two off, Jimmy, and you want to average 15 points a game and 5 rebounds and 5 assists, I'm good with it. If you want to shoot when you just have breakaway layups off a good defense that you and the rest of the Miami Heat team plays, that's fine with me. If you don't want to be the first option on offense, that's fine with me. But you better be on the floor, you better be leading vocally as well as physically, and you just play the game of basketball. If you don't want to give us 20 to 25 to 30 points a game like you will in the playoffs, that's fine with me. But you better be healthy. You better be active, and you better be available. Or this next year where you're in a player option and you feel like you have leverage and you don't want to return for $52 million a year, and you want to get this rescheduled or reworked out and reconfigured, and want to come back to this Miami Heat team until the age of 38 and be able to retire as a Miami Heat player, we are going to have to see availability from Jimmy Butler. Yes, the statistical production is phenomenal, especially, again, when he is healthy, especially in the later half of the season. But again, if you are not available and these things you're doing in the offseason are not working, we are going to be looking at a massive, massive problem in Miami. Last season, as we know, we ended up as the 8th seed. We were 46-36. It was not good. Obviously, in-division rival Orlando Magic did not get any worse this offseason. They might have gotten better. In some, it's debatable, but again, they were the 5th seed. They're expecting to be in the top 5 seeds once again, and that's a team in our division, let alone our conference. Knicks, Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, Pacers, Sixers have all debatably gotten better this offseason. Now, that's with new acquisitions, that's with re-signings and bringing people in for lower prices so they can go out and get better role players to then put next to those guys. The Miami Heat haven't done a lot of that. They repaid Bam Adebayo. It was well deserved. I would have waited another year if I was Bam personally, because if he comes out and wins DPOY, or he makes an all defensive first team, or he wins the MVP, his available contract, I should say, doubles. Okay, and honestly, I have a lot of optimism in Bam Adebayo. I think he has more potential than we've even seen up to this point. Again, I would have waited, but again, I'm glad he got paid. He's going to be a Miami Heat player for a long time. He's not going anywhere. But again, we got Alec Burks. We got Khalil Ware, Keyshawn Johnson, Pella Larson, Keyshawn Johnson, a bunch of young guys as rookies for this Miami Heat team, which are great. Hawkes is a second-year player. Jovic is going to be good in his 3rd year. It's going to be a good collection of players. But again, everyone out east got better. Everyone in the league, it feels like, got better, including the Western Conference as well. The Miami Heat haven't done a lot, so this is going to be a big, big season for Jimmy Butler, and if he wants to not only get paid, but if he wants to be successful and bring a championship back to Miami, like he said, that is his goal to then accomplish. This is the current depth chart as it looks. I know we just listed off those new acquisitions, the lack thereof, but again, we did list those off. Adebayo is going to be a problem. Khalil Ware is going to be a great, great piece for this Miami Heat team. But again, it's all going to start with Jimmy Butler. Yes, Jimmy Butler is coming before Tyler Hero. He's coming before Rozier, and he's coming before Bam Adebayo when it comes to the not hierarchy, but really just the leadership mentality and the overall value to this Miami Heat team. Jimmy Butler is by far the oldest player on this Miami Heat team, and he has the most experience without a doubt, and he needs to be the guy. And this is the year where he has to accept the challenge. He has to be the guy, and I really and truly hope these amphibious, unconventional workouts are going to work for you, Jimmy, and I hope it results in availability in a healthy season for Jimmy Butler and this Miami Heat team. But again, that will be it for this episode of Heat Digest. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.